I have the pleasure of joining Rob Slayman from Schimmel Piano. For those of you who don't know, Schimmel is a fantastic maker out of Germany. Rob, why don't you tell us about Schimmel and what they offer to the world as their pianos?
Well, thank you, Glenn. Schimmel has been around since 1885, and that's when Wilhelm Schimmel founded the company. It's now in the fourth generation with family involvement.
Hmm.
And so they've been making pianos for over 135 years now. They just celebrated their 135th. We'll talk about that a little bit in a second. But so they build pianos in Germany. They have four lines of pianos. The concert series and classic series are made 100% in Germany, in the factory in Braunschweig, Germany. And they have a line called Wilhelm Schimmel, named after the founder, that's made in a factory in Kalisz, Poland, which is the oldest city in Poland.
Hmm.
That's a factory that Schimmel bought there, about probably 16 years ago now.
Yeah.
And so that gives an opportunity for a little different price point, but still a really nice quality European piano.
Yeah.
And then the fourth line is the Fridolin Schimmel, which was the brother of the founder, who actually came to the US and opened a factory in Minnesota back in the 1800s. So for a short while, there was a Schimmel factory in the US.
Oh, no kidding.
So, and that piano is made for us by Pearl River, who has also investment in our company. They own shares in the Schimmel company, as well as the Schimmel family still.
Right. Okay. And the 135th, that's pretty exciting. Tell us about some of those celebrations that would have been happening this year.
We would have actually had them in 2020.
Right.
But yeah, there was going to be a big concert and this international meeting in Germany. And of course, that all got canceled with the pandemic. And actually, back when the pandemic started, even our business just almost stopped for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And so the factory thought, well, we're going to have maybe a slow year. We better scale back production a little bit. And then all of a sudden, in about June, it started picking up, and it picked up very briskly and has continued to this day, actually. So now we're playing a little bit of catch up. But the 135th celebrations have been postponed, of course. They did come out though, and we're just getting the first ones about a month ago with a 135th anniversary model. Actually, it's really three models. Two of them have really nice, they're vertical pianos. They have two of them have really nice inlaid wood panels of, you could get big or pyramid mahogany or burled walnut. Really beautiful panels in the upper part of the piano or in the lower part, and or one or the other. And then there's a new finish called, we call it super matte. It's a black matte finish that's a new material we've never used before. And it's very smooth. You don't see the hand rubbed lines and the markings. So it's just a very beautiful finish. And we're making these all in the model called a C121. So Classic Series 121 vertical. And the 121, as you know, you probably know, that means that's 121 centimeters tall. So it also designates not only the model of the piano, but the height of the piano in centimeters.
Right. Those would be very beautiful with those inlaid panels. I'll try and put some pictures up on the website with that for these celebratory pianos. That'd be great. I've actually seen a bit more renewed interest in these very flat satin pianos, and so those will be very lovely as well. They're very sleek and yet more subdued than the high polish pianos. Did they do any in grands as well?
Not yet. That may be coming.
Okay. And you also had a book that you had quite a part in helping to edit as well. Tell us about that.
Yes, Mr. Schimmel, who was he was the grandson of the founder of the company. He's retired now, but he's still around, and he just finished a book last year on the 135th, on the occasion of the 135th. And what it is, it's a history of Schimmel, and it has a lot of pictures, and it has a lot of interesting facts about Schimmel and then the innovations and milestones and the history of Schimmel. And it's a booklet. It's not a hardcover, but it's a nice, very nice looking soft cover book. And we printed a limited number of those and sent them out to all the Schimmel dealers.
Oh, nice.
And we have a few more that we can send out, and we may do another printing of those as well.
Yeah, I might as we talk about with the pictures of pianos, I'll see if we can post a picture of the book as well. That's very cool to actually have someone who's connected with the family history to be able to recall some of their stories, because really it's their the Schimmel family, their grandfather, great grandfather that were involved in the company. It's not too
Yes.
distant history for those guys.
No, in fact, I love when I get a customer or a question from a dealer asking about some model that they've taken in on trade from 40 years ago. I
Yeah.
just email or call Mr. Schimmel. Oh yeah, he knows everything about it. He remembers what they did because they've made a lot of special pianos,
Right.
and some of them were one of a kind. They've made a piano for a teacher one time that had two keyboards side by side. They weren't full 88 keys and had a set of pedals on each side, so the teacher and student could sit at the same piano and play the piano. And did you know Schimmel was the first with a plexiglass clear piano,
Right. I remember
which they
that.
did in 1953. They had that piano.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
the
so funny.
pedestal.
I see plexiglass pianos are more popular now, but I do know that Schimmel was the innovator of that back, but I didn't know it was that old.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so 2021, like this has been a really challenging year through 2020. What is your prognosis for the future? Where's Schimmel going? As you had mentioned, there's some delayed celebrations once things open up a bit more. But how has it been? What's the feeling now for the Schimmel factory?
Well, it's of course it's uncertain. It's hard to know what's going to happen because it flipped this year in 2020 unexpectedly to the
Right.
positive side.
Right.
So it's hard to know. But when this started turning around back in the summer, I thought, back when the big recession happened back in 2008,
Mhm.
people were saying, well, it's going to be a 10-year recession. And for the piano industry, it really was, because what we were doing in volume back then dropped in about half. And
Right.
it never really went back up to where it was.
Right.
And this is just me, but I have a feeling that this is more of a permanent, this interest in pianos is a little bit more of a, maybe not permanent, but a longer term trend, not just a couple of months.
Yeah.
So that's not the official Schimmel view of it, but they are cautiously optimistic, and I'm trying to convince them to up the production even more.
Yeah.
I think
I've talked to a lot of tuners and store owners, and some have wait lists. They're so busy during this time, and I think it's renewed the passion for the piano. People are at home, they're quarantined, and so I think it's renewed interest once again with the piano, and that's pretty exciting for our business and the industry.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
so,
there's kind of a fundamental shift in the way people see certain things, I think, now, and
yeah, I agree.
what's important in life and what's not so important. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it actually does shift our priorities, and we do think about what is important, and music is one of those things. Rob, I just want to say thank you for taking the time and
yes,
letting us know about these celebrations. Hopefully, we can have those really soon, and I'll post those pictures on the celebration models of pianos from Schimmel. That would be fantastic. Thanks for taking the time.
all right. Thank you, Glenn. Thanks.
All right, have a good one. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.